Hello, guys. You are in the final week with the lesson of Forward Thinking to Thrive. Hey, guys, Kim Gorski here, as you know, but I'm excited to really pan out what this last foundational piece is. And this is where we're going to really bring it home, really going to hone in, because you've already done the work. You've done the incredible work of accepting. This is not something that's easy. And I think that's where we need to kind of take some time today and going forward. That acceptance right there, most people do not do. Most. You're not most. And we know that because you're here, you've showed up, you've made it happen. And so if we get to that acceptance piece, we need to get now clear on it, that clarity of what had happened. What's how has it affected you? What has it done to your life? And then we get to that presence piece. And that presence piece is more than just, hey, take your phone out and be present, or take your phone away, put your phone away and be present. Like way more than that. And it took you to a level of really listening here. Really listening within your heart and within your mind and understanding what that means, opposed to having all the outside sources, the outside media, the outside society, the outside family members and coworkers be your compass. You are your compass. And the more we go through that acceptance, that clarity piece, that presence, and now forward thinking to thrive, because you're going to be able to expedite processes a lot more with these foundational things. And like I've said to you many times throughout this course, is that these things are established here to be able for you to break through, be able for you to stop that cycle that you're like, I can't keep on doing this anymore. They were lessons. They came up many, many times because you still needed to learn it. So now, my friends, we are going to take it one step further and talk about the fun and exciting piece about this. And I say that with sincerity, with compassion, and with a lot of empathy, because you're actually going to go through something before you actually go to thrive. So thriving, what does that mean? Thriving is like out there in the universe, out there in the world, showing everyone that like you're kicking butt and taking names. But thriving actually also has this other side to it, and it's called grief. For people to thrive, they need to still go through that grieving process of what had happened and what has been. So when we talk about what we needed to break through, that relationship with oneself, that relationship with a family member, the way that you looked at food and fitness, the way that you are with your career, and you're so focused, but then yet not. You're not at that point in your life and you need to be, or you want to be. So we go through this stages of, okay, what gives? And what gives is now this grieving process. And so I'm going to take you through 6 steps of this grieving process, because being aware of this during your journaling, being aware of this through your thought process is going to really start to click. You're going to be like, I get it now. I get it now, because before I was just like, hoping something was going to stick. Now we're going to have it click. I love when words combine and they just make sense. I geek out over that, guys. So now, first stage, and you've heard the stages of grief when you lose someone, when something is lost within your life. We're going to take it a little bit differently. So we're going to go through 6 stages. And I want you to keep these 6 stages in mind when you go through your journaling. So if you haven't picked up yet, journaling is going to be your best friend, because that's where you hear and see and feel everything you need. Everything. There's so much power in it. There's power on a positivity level. There's power on a negative level, because there's power that the positive is coming out of you. You're seeing the gratitude. You're seeing all this amazing stuff. And then it's perceived negative. It's not really negative. And then you're seeing all this emotion fall out. All of this truth fall out. And that stuff right there is that we don't really want to get through that process, because we're going to have to go through this grieving process. So this grieving process is going to be through these 6 steps. So the first one True to form is acceptance. So we went through that in week 1. But acceptance that this is happening, said what you are working on right now. Acceptance that you have now made it a step to acknowledge it. I cannot stress enough how important this step is, because what happens is when we don't accept, it's usually for many reasons. Ego, ignorance, denial, which we're going to get to the next step. So then you go to that next step is the denial piece. Is this true? Like, did this really happen in my life? Is this really how my life has been going? You know what? Maybe it's not that bad. It's not that bad. I was just going to suffer for a little bit longer. And that's where we start to really go pooh in our gut. Because that's the kind of stuff that we're going to go through. We're going to teeter back and forth. I don't know how many times I've done this in my life where I've gone that I'm like, all right, I accept that this situation is not right. But now I'm going to be like, you know what? It's not that bad. There's worse things out in the world. True, there is. But guess what? 24/7, every single day, you have to live with that. And then we go through this bargaining, like back and forth, like, all right, let's make a deal. Let's make a deal that, if I do this, this won't happen. Or if I say that, hopefully this won't happen. If I make sure that I just go from A, B, C, all the way to Z, and this will be okay, right? So you're starting to bargain with yourself when you're in this grieving process. And it's going to make sense for why we're going to move forward. Because this is the kind of talk and this is the kind of cycle that we go through. And this is why thriving always looks so glamorous and beautiful, but this is actually the behind the scenes stuff. This is where I get on camera and right before I'm like, can you really be able to deliver the value? That's me wavering back and forth with those self-limiting beliefs, the stuff that I need to grieve and let go to be able to go. Make sense? All right, so then we get into this place of like, you have to freaking kidding me. Get back. I'm pushing back. I'm angry now. So think about the normal stages of grief. Like, this is coming back up. So it's that anger piece. You're like, how could they have done this to me? How could I have done this to myself? Like, I'm going to beat myself up even more. Top. This is huge in our understanding of how we can now understand ourselves more. So as much as this is 1, 2, 3, acceptance, denial, bargaining, anger, you're going to waver back and forth through this process of healing. So you're going to go to a point where now you're in depression because you've just done so much emotional energy of acceptance. You've now done even more of that denial because you're like, damn, I just freaking accept it, but I'm going to, kind of go through that stage. You're going to go now to a bargaining. How can I make this I wish I had 4 hands right now. The bargaining. And then you're going to go through the anger. So that's why the depression comes up. You just exuded a ton of freaking energy. Exuded a ton. So you may be getting now to week 4 and you're like, Kim, I'm done. And this is why the depression comes in. That you'll never have what you thought you wanted. So give an example. The relationship I always yearned for from my mother. I always yearned for that. And now I'm in a depression that I don't think I'm ever going to get it. So what does that mean? How do I heal from that? How do I make it better? How do I stop that void? How do I stop that hole in my heart and my soul and my gut that I want that mother? And so we now get to the place of, is it going to end? Is this cycle ever going to end? And it does. It sure does, because then you get to the 6th stage of the moving forward. So there's no coincidence that this week is called moving forward to thrive, or excuse me, thinking forward to thrive. Thinking forward to thrive. Because the sixth stage is move forward. And how do we do that? We do it by wavering by 1 through 5. We waver through them. And we move forward the best we know how. Because bouncing through those stages is what we call life. Going through each one like it's a mountain every single time, you're going to get to a point where you're going to be on that mountain and it's sustained. Brendon Burchard, one of my favorite mentors, always talks about that. And I've probably said it a million times within our course of this course. So Phoebe, is this for heightened and sustained. That's the level of high performance. And so for me and for us in here, what I want to be able to challenge that. Not all of us are going to get to high performance, and that's okay. Maybe you don't want that. I know for myself, I want that. I don't want the up and downs. And so what I'm going to bring to you with this foundation right here, with these last 4 weeks, is that you now are on the same level. You are now leveling out. You'll feel down. Don't worry. You'll feel down. Don't worry. It's coming back up. But you'll always have that peace of mind that you have something leveled out. So you're not always feeling like imbalanced. You're not always beating yourself up. Will you beat yourself up again? For sure. Will you have a self-limiting belief again? 1,000%. Will you be so discouraged of why you're not getting to that goal? Yes. Oh my God. The way that I said that sounded encouraging, right? You're like, Kim, you just like slapped me across the face and wished me the best. And I did, because that's the reality. That's the reality that we go through, but yet we aren't grieving it enough. We're probably in the anger stage a lot, or we're in the depressed stage a lot. But can we get to the place of where we're going through the acceptance, the denial, the bargaining, the anger, the depression, the move forward? That kind of stuff will get us out of that, of the ooh, 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 ooh. That kind of acceptance, clarity, presence, forward thinking to thrive. I swear, I got to change that name because it's like always different. Forward thinking to thrive. It's going to stay there for now. Because if you don't go through that grieving stage, you won't ever have that foundation. You won't ever have that go-to of how do I accept, how do I get clarity, how do I be more present within myself, and how do I forward think to thrive. So you now have this question, or you kind of have this statement now, in the sense that you have to heal in order to become whole. So that is why I brought off the grieving process today. For you to even go forward, you have to heal in order for you to become whole. Sit on that. You have to heal in order to become whole. It's a scary thought. It gives me the chills because it's an exciting thought. Because I've healed many, many times. And I get a gut too. I just got that gut because I thought about the times that I've healed. And that is why I brought this course to you guys. I brought this course to you because I wanted you to be able to understand that you're not alone. You have a voice, that's for sure. The voice between your 4 walls of your mind, the voice with your spouse, your significant other, the voice with your family, the voice within the world, if you want to be that person out there. You have a voice. You just need to heal. You don't need to be fixed. You're not broken. It may felt like it, and that's okay, because brokenness is accepted, but you're healing. You're not perfect. Thank God you're not perfect. I don't want you to be perfect. I hope you really understand what that means. We can say it a lot, imperfect, perfectly imperfect. But how many times have we held ourselves to such high standards that we can't even reach, let alone anyone else can reach? So you have to heal in order to become whole. That emptiness will become filled when you heal. So as much as I wish I had that mother in my life, that person to make me whole too, I learned the internal mother. And so this is so literal to me, but this can be literal, not as literal to you, but we all need that internal mother, that internal person for us. So yes, mine has to do with my mother, even though I have healed from that, but I use my internal mother for a lot of things now. I use my internal mother to go put a message out to the world that I can do it. I use my internal mother to be able to say, hey, you are worth that. You are value of that. I use that. And if you have a mother or father in your life that already does that, that's freaking amazing. Now go take what they've said, put it internally, feel it, believe it, and go for it. So we have all of this process now. Now what to do? Because you guys, I know you're different. And I'm not just saying that to be like, hey, what's up? You're so amazing. I love you. Because guess what? I can give out confetti. I can give out sunshine. I can give out energy all day. But I can really only give it out to the people that want to hear it. Because this kind of exuded energy, this enthusiasm for life, became from passion. It came from passion. So I want you to check in before you leave me. I don't want you to go either. But before you leave me, check in with that passion. So I'm going to have you go through 2 exercises today. The journaling on the grieving process to be able to move forward. And now I want to see you come whole. You may not have passions in life. You're like, I don't have passions, because guess what, sister? I didn't either. I was clocking in definitely not 9 to 5. I love when like people always talk about their 9 to 5s. I'm like, shit, I wish I had that 9 to 5 for a period of time. I was really like 8 to 8 most days, but like 8 to 10 with the commute. So like it was a lot, but I didn't have it either. I was just clocking in and clocking out, mentally and physically. So now what are these passions? So you're getting now that internal mother. You're getting in that acceptance and clarity and that voice within. So now, how do we get the passions? What do I value most? What makes me happy? This shit right here makes me so damn happy. If you haven't noticed, vogue it out. If you haven't noticed, what gives me the deepest sense of fulfillment? Having conversations one-on-one with you guys in a group setting. What gives me a lot of fulfillment is quality time. I learned that about me. So I find a lot of passion with quality over quantity. So I'm not looking for billions of people to come through my courses and my life. I'm looking for that quality. So what are my passions and talents? I learned that people really love my energy. I was like kind of dumbfounded by that. I'm not gonna lie. I was very dumbfounded by that. So what are my passions and my talents? And so I'm passionate about helping women find their voice. And my talent is that I can bring that voice with enthusiasm and energy without freaking faking it, without forcing it. And so how can you find your passions, what they are, and their talents? So I want to leave you with this. It's never a goodbye, my friend. Because I'm going to see you out there. I'm going to see you thriving. I'm going to see you going through this process, sharing it with your tribe, with your family, with your people, with you. Accept this all for you. Not what you've been told. Not what society has downloaded into your mind. Accept this all for you. Acceptance is the first step, and it gives you that sense of relief. Clarity is when it gets scary, but it's one step closer to that belief. Presence is given every single day, but are you grabbing onto it right now? Forward thinking to thrive, most don't do, but you do. I appreciate you guys. I always love seeing you in here. And please, if you have any questions, always reach out. But I will see you in the threads, and I will hopefully see you throughout my time here on this earth and your time. Much love.